Welcome back to Tune Into Tarot, and today we'll be diving into the year ahead forecast for 2022 for all Virgos with a sun, moon, or rising sign in the sign of Virgo. This reading is for you. So without further ado, let's tune into tarot for the year ahead. Virgos, okay, well, you're opening up January 2022 with a beautiful card. It doesn't get much better than this. The 10 of Cups, 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups, upright. I don't know if I was expecting in a reverse for the Virgos because anyway, I won't get into the details. But the 10 of Cups is a lovely card of blissful, emotional balance, stating that it's a happy home and family. Everyone's getting along. You found your soulmate. You're in a loving relationship. Your family is together. Your family is getting along, is communicating, is exchanging gifts and, well, maybe not gifts, but I'm thinking more late December. But this is a beautiful, happy, blissful energy of emotional balance, abundance, financial stability, and a hopeful future, really. It's a card of achievement and complete happiness. So what an amazing way to open up the year, and I hope it carries through. It looks like it will partially carry through the end of 2022, but it even says a good marriage. So perhaps some of you are engaging in a higher level commitment or moving in together or shortly moving in together in the not too distant future, but happy things coming for our Virgos in the first month of January or first month of 2022. And then in February, it's showing up as the Two of Pentacles. So this can be a reprioritization of different areas of your life that you're putting your focus. This does often present a decision. It can suggest that you're weighing up your options. You may be having to choose between putting your energy, your focus, your investment in one area of your life over another area. For example, maybe redirecting some of your focus from your career or your side projects into your relationship if you're moving in together or creating kind of this higher level commitment with your partner. You might be kind of weighing up where you want to reorient your focus and your energy and your time. But this can also say that you just have a lot on your plate in February. You're doing a lot, you're checking a lot of things off of your agenda, your checklist, your task list, and you're able to do it fairly gracefully. It's like you're able to attend to all the areas of your life and do it in a way that's not terribly exhausting, but a little bit, because it does seem like you have a lot on your plate. But again, it also offers up the opportunity to reprioritize if that's necessary and kind of look at where you are directing your energy and your focus and trimming the fat. This has been a consistent theme throughout all of the readings this year, is just trying to remove that which does not serve you any longer, declutter, reorganize, and simplify if you can, just to make things a little bit easier and make life a little bit more approachable. Because it does look like you're very busy, but again, you're able to tackle it all. It just can strain you a little bit. But then in March, we have the Lovers card coming in. So another beautiful energy of a blissful relationship. Although this could bring to light another decision, because anytime you get a Two of Pentacles, Two of Cups, or the Lovers with the two lovers, this can present a choice that needs to be made. So you may be deciding between a couple of different options here, but again, it looks like a beautiful energy for relationships, for your partner. It also could speak to business partnerships and relationships or friendships, family dynamics. But again, it carries over this very attractive, happy, blissful achievement. It's like you can accomplish anything right now, Virgos. I feel like anything you put your mind to, it seems to be supported by the universe, by the people around you. You have a lot of fans and people not vying for your attention, but people who are applauding, people who are sort of cheerleading your pursuits and And that's so helpful to have and so important for our Virgos because they can be very hard on themselves. So it's great to have a crew or a cheerleading squad to be rooting for you, certainly. But again, it just looks like a beautiful energy in this first quarter of the year so far. Very loving, very relationship based, very busy. And then in April, it's showing up as the King of Cups reversed. So this does bring in a little bit of disturbance, possibly within the relationship. The cups do tend to speak to love and the heart space and potential relationship or romantic engagements. So in the reverse position, this may be someone who's having a change of heart or someone who's a little bit closed off from love or the relationship, or may just be busy with other things or their focus is elsewhere. Also, this could be Virgo, where you're a little bit closed off come April, where you're redirecting your focus elsewhere, potentially. And with the fish here in the background, it does look like this may speak to a Pisces, but it could be any water sign, Cancer, Scorpio as well. So that's something to be aware of in April, is the energy of the King of Cups reversed. It also could indicate very emotional sensitivities. It could indicate someone who's very emotional, overly emotional, might be having a seasonal meltdown if it's been a little while. For our Virgos, you may just need to cry, honestly. Like, just get it out, let it flow, let that emotion flow. I know some Virgos probably been a little pent up, not able to get to the gym as much or exercise and get their cardio in. So maybe you just need to have a good cry and call it a day. But in any case, the King of Cups reversed, you may be a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more emotional, a little bit touchy, or sad, depressed, some turmoil, some anguish potentially. If you may question your relationship at some point here after this kind of blissful 3 months. We'll see what happens in April. And do comment below. Let me know what happens in April or through this first few months of the 2020, and tell me how your relationships are going, because it looks to be very promising, but then that King of Cups comes in April. So when we move into May, it's showing up as the King of Swords, and this is a detached person, emotionally detached. So to have the King of Cups reversed followed by the King of Swords upright, it is suggesting that the love or the emotional connection may be waning potentially, or just, again, maybe there are other parts of your lives that are coming into play here. So the focus is placed elsewhere versus between you and your partner. But the King of Swords is a very clear, concise, great decision maker, which is awesome to see. So you're able to make decisions quickly, confidently. If you are in a leadership position, you're leading in a way that is very logical, very strategic, tactical, methodical. You tend to lead from a space that is not grounded in an emotional space. So you don't make decisions based on an emotional response. It's more of a logically based response. So that's great to have in a leader usually, but in a love relationship, if you're exuding the characteristics of the King of Swords, then you may be in a bit of a detached space as far as love goes. And you may just be very focused on your plans, your agenda, and very cerebral, very heady, very methodical, and not operating from a space of love and connection and emotion. So that's coming in May. And then in June, it's showing up as the Six of Swords. Now, this can indicate usually a transition. It can be a move, a relocation. It can be usually transitioning out of a space that feels very confining or restrictive or restraining or oppressive in some way, and moving into a space that's a lot more free and liberated and open and expansive and supportive. So I often have been seeing this card as moving from a smaller space into a larger space, like upgrading your home, moving into a bigger home, or moving away from moving out of a space, moving out of a relationship perhaps, or moving out of a job, or any situation within your life that feels oppressive or restrictive in some way. Perhaps you've been struggling with your creative self-expression or a throat chakra block of some kind, and you're moving into a space where you can express yourself a lot more freely and clearly, although that doesn't seem to carry with the cards that I'm seeing. So let's negate that. It can just be any situation that feels oppressive. You look to be moving out of that. So yes, it could be that you're moving out of a relationship, or it could be moving or reorienting or rearranging your relationship in some way after, maybe you and your partner, after feeling like the love is dissipating a bit and things become very kind of businessy, or they become very detached. Maybe you and your partner need to have a little chat and move the relationship into a different space again. Yeah, move it into a different space, or at least acknowledge, what's happening and talk it out. But this could certainly involve a move. It could involve travel in June, because there's a boat here. You may be traveling, and ultimately it's moving you into a space that's much more supportive. So I do see it as a good card, but the process of moving from point A to point B can be tumultuous. So maybe during your travel, you may run into some delays, but in the upright, I don't feel like you're too challenged. I think that you'll have actually a great trip if you do go on an excursion of some kind, especially if it involves a boat. Maybe you sell your boat, or your partner sells their boat, or maybe you get on a boat in July. Or no, we're talking about June. So maybe in June you go on a cruise, or you do something that involves water or a body of water. Maybe you stay in a cabin or rent a vacation getaway that's on a river or something like that. I can see that happening. So that's happening in June. And then in July, it is showing up as the 9 or 10 of Swords reversed. So this can be a situation where I think it lightens your load, actually. If you've been feeling, I know you started out in February with a lot on your plate, and maybe that did affect your relationship to some degree. But whatever transition you're starting to go through, or maybe you went on vacation, it feels like you've made some transitions and some changes, and it seems to have lightened your load. Perhaps you are outsourcing some of your work to others. A lot of times the 10 of Wands can speak to carrying too much weight and having way too much on your plate and overloading your schedule. And so you may have found a way to delegate some of those roles or those tasks to other people. So perhaps you're having someone else edit your videos, or taking on your social media marketing, or running your website, or you've hired a housekeeper or a nanny or someone for childcare, or a chef, a personal chef that makes meals for you. So somehow you are outsourcing some of the work that you typically are in charge of, and you're taking that off your plate. So that is lightening your load to some degree. I do see that coming in July. And then in August, it's showing up as the Chariot, which is another travel card potentially. So you may be traveling in August. It might be a road trip this time. It puts you in control of your life's direction. So you feel very confident and empowered in how the events in your life are unfolding. And if you do want to make any changes, or if you are going through a transition, or you've been going through one and you're maybe nearing the end, you're stepping into that new role very confidently. The Chariot can also speak to a victory. So, I mean, if you're in a competition, or if you're applying for a job, or you're going through interviews, it seems like you get the job, or you seem to, even a lottery, you win the lottery. This is a victory card. It's a card of domination. Well, I don't want to say domination, but it's moving your life in the direction that you envision. It's having a telepathic connection with the universe and with the events that are unfolding. And so it's a very good card of manifestation as well. Virgos have a good year ahead. It looks like just a very positive year, a lot of positive energy, positive for love. You're meeting your soulmate, you're involved with your soulmate, you're taking that to a higher level commitment. Yes, any relationship goes through its struggles and challenges, but it looks like you'll be able to at least work some of those things out, and you're still able to move your life in the direction that you see fit. Now in September, with the Queen of Cups reversed, okay, so now this puts a match on the board. So we've got the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups reversed. So now Queen of Cups is feeling a bit emotional. You may be feeling like you're putting your heart above your head, so you're reacting in a way that's very emotionally rooted versus responding in a logical way. So you're sensitive, you're overly emotional, you're maybe feeling like despite having made the moves to lighten your load, you're still feeling maybe overwhelmed, and like you don't have a lot of extra love and energy and inspiration to share with others, especially in September for some reason. Maybe you're depressed about your birthday if you're a September Virgo, and you know, one more year older. Maybe you're just having a little bit of a midlife crisis, quarter life crisis, wherever you are in life. The Queen of Cups reversed. Yeah, you just might be a little bit closed off in September for some reason, feeling emotional, feeling overwhelmed, and feeling like you don't have a lot of extra energy and love to give others. In October, you have the Nine of Cups reversed. And this is usually a wish fulfillment card. So in the reverse position, it's saying you don't get your wish or you're disappointed in your accomplishments. So yeah, it might have to do with your birthday and turning another year older, and maybe feeling like you envisioned yourself being in a different place by this age, or feeling disappointed in what you've achieved thus far in your life and questioning yourself. You might be comparing yourself to others quite a bit right now, to other people in your field, or to, if you're on social media, you're looking at these different influencers and you're feeling a little bit maybe insecure about where comparing yourself. You're suffering from this comparison and standards, and it's not healthy. So get off social media. You might need to go through a little bit of a social media detox and just limit your time on social media if you are going through a little bit of a depression. Or sometimes this can also speak to, like, if you've taken a test or an exam and you didn't pass it, then it's like a result that is not what you wanted. It's a no, it's not the answer you wanted to hear or see or feel. So there's a little bit of some disappointing energy coming in October. And then November, yay, we get the Knight of Cups, woohoo! So the love is back, and the Knight of Cups comes in with his heart open and offer of love, and so it's a very loving month in November, very positive. If this is someone offering their cup of love to you, or you offering your cup of love to someone else. If you're already in a relationship, then this is just a happy time for you both. It is approaching the holidays of next year, so perhaps this is just, you're able to engage with family more freely than in past years. You might be feeling very creative, inspired, romantic, loving, passionate, and floating a bit. And things just seem very positive in November. So if you were feeling disappointed in the last 2 months regarding your relationship, then it does seem to be rectified by November. But in December, the 5 of Cups, and 5 usually indicates conflict. You have 3 cups there at the bottom of your feet, so it's kind of this mess of emotions. And again, it's a card of disappointment. It's a card of dwelling in the past. So I wonder if you're thinking about past relationships or a relationship that maybe went south that you are upset about. It could be a breakup potentially, but having such a positive November and then the December being sort of the antithesis of that. Yeah, there's a lot of roller coaster energy this year I've seen for everyone, really. But the good thing about the 5 of Cups is that it does indicate a brighter future. So you've had 2 cards. You've had a lot of really positive energy, Virgos, but you do have 2 cards that are indicating the movement from a more disappointing or oppressive or restrictive space into a much more supportive space, a brighter future. So I do feel like overall things are moving in a positive direction and life is becoming what you are trying to manifest or actively manifesting. But it doesn't come without struggles and hardships and challenges. And so you certainly will encounter some challenges this year, but ultimately I see you moving in the direction that your heart compass is leading you. And with the 5 of Cups, it is stating that, again, you have these 3 cups at your feet. It's a mess of emotions, it's disappointment, but you can clean it up. And behind you, you have these 2 cups there standing. And the 2 of Cups is a very balanced, reciprocal, loving energy. The 2 of Cups indicates my cup of love for your cup of love, or an equal exchange. It's very harmonious. It's very balanced and beautiful and supportive. And that's still there. That's still present. And that's what you're left with when you clean up this mess at your feet. So work out the details, work out the kinks within your relationship or within your projects, creative projects, or within your life that seem to be not meeting your standards to some degree, and you're still left with the 2 of Cups, which is beautiful. And there's that bridge in the background leading to the castle illuminated that indicates the brighter future that awaits. So you just take those 2 cups and you walk gleefully into your brighter future. So good things on the agenda overall for our Virgos. And it does say at the bottom there, happiness. Let's see. I don't know if you can see, it might be too bright, but it says happiness and success gifts. So again, good things on the way for our Virgos. And let's pull from the Shaman's Dream Oracle to see what final words of wisdom we have for our Virgos for 2022. And I like to just kind of let a card fall out, whatever card is meant to speak to our Virgos today. Okay, well, the one card that showed up face up is Moon Maiden, and it says new beginning. So let's read from the book to see what the Shaman's Dream Oracle has to say. This is number 41. And this is for our Virgos for 2022, year ahead. Final words of wisdom indicating new ideas, beginnings, and curiosity. The Moon Maiden arrives to offer you a new beginning, a new face and facet for yourself that is aching to be shown to the world. Those qualities that you have been quietly cultivating are ready for the limelight. The secrecy was important, for it protected your new face and kept what was precious close to your heart. But now it is time to come forward in full splendor. Announce the new you to yourself first. Reveal it slowly to the world like the waxing moon. Allow others to be surprised by how mature and grown up this side of you is. Now it's time to set yourself free. The Moon Maiden belongs only to herself, and she is summoning the parts of you that challenge convention, that refuse to be intimidated, and that cannot be tamed or put inside a golden cage. The Moon Maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have radiant curiosity, and to ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma, why do you believe this is so? Question everything others assume is a given, and do not collude with the drama around you. Become an unpredictable being, yet an eminently reliable friend. The Moon Maiden invites you to answer only to yourself and reminds you that you are not anyone's property. Be true to your soul's calling, even as some around you in a relationship or a job want to capture your light inside a bottle. You know how to rise to the occasion, just as unfailingly as the moon does. When the time comes, you return to darkness and become enshrouded in mystery until you are ready to return. Okay, Virgos. So what can I garner from or glean from this description of the Moon Maiden? It did make me think about this Six of Swords as you're transitioning from a space that feels very kind of constrictive or restraining in some way into a much more open, liberated space where you can really shine. So that feels consistent, and I think overall you are given a lot of support this year to really express yourself, to be creative. You have a lot of creative energy, a lot of love, although, we do go through cycles where our energy and inspiration wanes a little bit, and so you may run up against that. But overall, I think you are going through this blossoming this year and revealing what you've kept hidden for a long time. So bravo, Virgo. And Virgos, if you found that was helpful, insightful, or offered any guidance whatsoever, please like this video, comment below, let me know how your year unfolds, and bookmark this video, come back to it periodically and see how these months are aligning with your year. Now, specifically, I do want to know, if you are in a relationship, are you taking that relationship to the next level? Are you moving in together? Are you getting engaged? Are you getting married? I want to see, how are you starting a family? Do you have travel plans this year, specifically around the June and August time period, which was indicated in the reading here? I just want to know how this kind of aligns with your year. So do let me know below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it with any of your Virgo friends. Thank you for being here, and until next month when I check in with you for the February monthly readings, take care and Happy New Year.